or tuning in the sun. This is TFM. Get ready to rock. From AM to PM. Come on. Let's talk.
TFM 95.4.
Let's talk.
Live on TFM and the TFM Facebook page. This is the live feed of TTV. Let's talk.
Hello and welcome to the Midday Update. These are the top headlines from our newsroom today. Recovered COVID-19 patients can also take vaccine, according to the Ministry of Health. Society in Oman likely to continue health behaviors post-pandemic. Sayyid Yazin honors research award winners. Health facilities across Oman help stem the COVID-19 tide. Distance learning certificates not accepted by Ministry of Transport, Communications and Information Technology. Students return to classes after 309 days in Oman. Compulsory COVID tests every 7 days for government employees in the UAE. Entire US Capitol complex on lockdown due to nearby fire. UN Security Council condemns killing of peacekeepers in Central African region. Head coach of La Liga club FC Barcelona, Koeman defends Messi. Players forced into hard quarantine ahead of Australian Open. These were the top headlines of the day. Let's see how the weather condition looks like in the Sultanate in our weather update.
Hi, my name is Meita El Shukaili for today's weather update. And right now, I'm outside the TFM studio in Al Khuer. Before we move on to weather, here is our fact for the day. Natural climate solutions such as restoring degraded forests can create as many as 39 jobs per $1 million spent. And that's a job creation 6 times higher than the oil and gas industry. That's our fact for the day. Now let's step inside the studio and talk more about weather. An alert has been issued by Oman Meteorology and Civil Aviation Authorities saying that there will be a reduction in visibility due to the fog formation. And with that, there will be mainly clear skies over the rest of the Sultanate and chances of late night to early morning, low-level clouds or fog patches over the parts of Al Buremi, Al Dhahira and South Sharqiya. And now let's take a look at how the weather will be like in all the governorates. Muscat will be sunny, temperatures between 29 to 23 degrees Celsius. Musandam will be sunny, temperatures between 26 to 21 degrees Celsius. North Al Batina will be sunny, temperatures between 31 to 20 degrees Celsius. South Al Batina will be sunny, temperatures between 30 to 22 degrees Celsius. Al Buremi will be sunny, temperatures between 27 to 18 degrees Celsius. Al Dhahira will be sunny, temperatures between 30 to 19 degrees Celsius. Al Dakhiliya will be sunny, temperatures between 30 to 18 degrees Celsius. North Al Sharqiya will be sunny, temperatures between 30 to 18 degrees Celsius. South Al Sharqiya will be sunny, temperatures between 28 to 18 degrees Celsius. Al Wusta will be sunny, temperatures between 29 to 19 degrees Celsius. Dhafar will also be sunny, temperatures between 26 to 16 degrees Celsius.
Welcome back to TTV. You're watching Midday Update. Now, before we get into the details of the local stories for the day, let's see the COVID-19 update. The Ministry of Health officials has announced the registration of 2 death cases due to coronavirus in the Sultanate today. This has taken the total death cases in Oman to 1,516. The health officials also extended their deepest condolences to this family of the deceased. In addition to that, the Ministry of Health has also registered 135 new coronavirus cases in Oman today. The total cases in the country have now touched 132,146, including 124,398 recoveries, as well as 1,516 death cases. According to Ministry of Health, in the past 24 hours, 185 recoveries were also reported. The ministry urged everyone to adhere to social distancing instructions issued by the Supreme Committee and the Ministry of Health. And now from a local desk. The Ministry of Health today has stated that the COVID-19 vaccine can be taken regardless of whether a person has been exposed to the virus in the past. A statement issued online by the Ministry of Health said the vaccine can be taken regardless of whether a person has been exposed to the virus in the past. However, this category will not be among the priority categories, but will be postponed to other stages if needed. It's taken into account that the vaccine will not be given to those suffering from the symptoms of the disease at the time of the scheduled vaccination day. Indeed, that person will be excluded. A study found out that one of the social changes that may occur in the Sultanate of Oman society after the COVID-19 pandemic is that the country will give up social distancing but may maintain some healthy habits such as wearing masks and sterilizing hands. A paper titled The Mechanisms Produced by Omani Society to Deal with COVID-19 Pandemic by the researcher Mubarak Al-Hamadani has been published by the Gulf Studies Center. The paper examines cognitively the community-based management of the pandemic. The study surveyed a random sample of 536 individuals, and one of the questions was, to what extent do you see the possibility of the next 10 social changes occurring in Omani society? According to the study, the majority of the respondents said that the pandemic will change the consumption pattern of community members and will rearrange their consumption priorities, especially luxuries, and more than 40% of the respondents said that families and individuals will tend to save to ensure economic safety in times of crisis. Most notably, the study found that the majority felt that family gatherings will return to their normal state after the pandemic. Over 80% said they expect that individuals will return to intimate and direct communication after the end of the epidemic, such as shaking hands and hugging, and more than 70% responded that the culture of social distancing will fade away, and more than 50% said that community members would not reduce their attendance at social events and public gatherings, while about 20% said that their attendance will be limited to family occasions only, the study also revealed. Al-Hamadani said that it can be said that the epidemic has been able to produce a range of phenomena, including the flourishing of digital life, as members of society have become active in formal and informal activities far from work and study sites in meeting, dialogues, discussions, and cultural events. On the other hand, more than 60% confirmed that community members will be looking forward to the opportunities provided by the home quarantine period, such as digital training, sessions, and cultural sessions. The Ministry of Higher Education, Research and Innovation in the Sultanate announced the winners of the 7th edition of the Annual Research Forum on Monday. The function was held under the auspices of His Highness Sayyidi Yazan bin Haytham bin Tariq Al Said, Minister of Culture, Sports and Youth. 12 projects won the National Research Awards in 6 research fields, including culture and human and basic sciences, education and human resources, energy and industry, environment and biological resources, health and social services, and communication and information systems. The new logo of Oman Animal and Plant Genetic Resources Center, known as Mawarid, was launched on the sidelines of the forum. Dr. Rahma bint Ibrahim Al-Mahrouki, who's the Minister of Higher Education in Oman, Research and Innovation, gave a speech in which she praised the efforts of the ministry for organizing the annual forum and the award function. The Sultanate participated in the virtual meeting of the Executive Board of World Health Organization on Monday. A delegation led by Dr. Ahmed bin Muhammad Al Saidi, Minister of Health and First Deputy of WHO EB, took part in the meeting. In his speech, Dr. Al Saidi commented the WHO on the framework structure of the Global Patient Safety Action Plan for 2021 to 2030, with its 7 global strategic objectives, 5 strategies, 6 principles, and 5 milestones. Al Saidi said that in the context of COVID-19, Patient safety was the focus of Oman's health emergency preparedness and response through different initiatives to minimize the risk of transmission. He added that having a wide-reaching network of primary healthcare facilities throughout the country proved to be an advantage in terms of preparedness and response to the COVID-19 pandemic, as it facilitated more streamlined triage and testing, resulting in lower transmission rates. The health minister emphasized that patient safety is a top priority in Oman's health strategy, since it contributes significantly to the improvement of the overall health of the population, aiming to make sure that patients receive highly safe and quality health services at all the healthcare facilities in Oman. He also added that this action plan represents a comprehensive reference for member states to develop their national strategies and operational plans towards enhancing patient safety. It is also fully aligned with the Sustainable Developmental Goals and closely mapped with the WHO Resolution 72.6. The health minister stressed that global action on patient safety is at the core of many other global health issues and sustainable development goals. It relates not only to people-centric but also to hygiene, expanded access to information and technology, innovation, expanded healthcare coverage, adequate infrastructure, and international cooperation. The Ministry of Transport, Communications and Information Technology, commonly known as MTCIT in the Sultanate, will not accept the certificates issued by distance learning as mentioned in a notice issued by the ministry. A statement issued online by MTCIT said, the ministry notes that the below mentioned certificates issued by distance learning will not be accepted when submitting applications to obtain a certificate of competency or a certificate of proficiency. Since these courses require conducting a practical part in addition to the theoretical part to ensure that the participants reach the required knowledge and competence. Now these include 1. Basic training certificate, 2. Advanced firefighting certificate, 3. Survival craft and research rescue board certificate. Now, schools across the Sultanate have received their students on Sunday after a gap of 309 days amid caution and commitment to safety in an atmosphere of energy and vitality. In all, 142,162 students of the integrated education system returned to classes physically in the Wilayat and Governorate schools after the long closure forced by the COVID-19 pandemic. Muscat educational institutions receive students of the 1st, 4th, 5th, 9th and 11th grades based on the decision of the Supreme Committee who are in charge to deal with COVID-19 in the Sultanate for the gradual return of students to the integrated education system according to specific operational procedure. Now, in order to adhere to the precautionary measures in schools, the manager of Ziyad bin Al-Muhallab School in Ad-Dahra Governorate, Hamad Al-Makhmari, followed with great care the implementation of precautionary measures on coronavirus. In Al-Buraimi Governorate, Al-Senaina School said, as part of the precautionary measures for the safety of its students, the school health nurse, Abla Al-Shukri, implemented a hand-washing workshop for students of the 1st grade, and then the students followed what they had learned. Moreover, the General Directorate for Education in Ad-Dakhliya Governorate, Musandam Governorate and Dhofar Governorate also welcomed the gradual return of students while taking precautionary measures through blended education. An official from the Ministry of Education confirmed to the Times of Oman that the guardian of the student who does not agree to the presence of his son to study needs to sign the commitment form to teach him at home. This was all from our local desk for today. It's time for a quick commercial break, but stay tuned as we have more coming up from international desk.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, You order, we deliver.
It's about time we kicked COVID-19 out of our lives. Join us on TTV Outline every Monday and let us learn how to fight COVID together. Welcome back to TTV. You're watching Midday Update. And now from our international desk. The Federal Authority for Government Human Resources, commonly known as FAHR, issued a circular yesterday to all federal ministries and authorities related to updating the procedures aimed at addressing the COVID-19 pandemic on a federal government level in the UAE. The circular will be enforced from Sunday, 24th January 2021, and federal government employees will be required to perform a PCR test every 7 days if they have not received the 2 doses of the vaccine. FAHR circular also stressed that the procedures are in line with the UAE government's efforts to confront the pandemic and protect the health of employees in their work environment. It also urged all federal authorities to implement procedures covering employees, outsourced staff, public services employees, consultants, and experts. The circular affirmed that employees of federal ministries and authorities are required to undergo a PCR test every 7 days, except those who have received 2 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. Meanwhile, the federal authorities will cover the expenses of the PCR tests every 7 days for those who have medical reports approved by national official health authorities, confirming that they should not take the vaccine. It added that outsourced companies and public services companies contracted by federal government entities must conduct a PCR test every 7 days for their employees working on a full-time basis at government offices and have not received both doses of the vaccine. As regards to consultants and experts who are required to attend meetings or be present at government office premises, the circular pointed out that the federal authorities are required to confirm recent PCR test results performed within 3 days, except for those who have taken 2 doses of the vaccine. The entire U.S. federal complex was on lockdown yesterday morning after a fire was reported several blocks away, Capitol Police said in a letter to lawmakers. DC Fire and Emergency Medical Services said on Twitter that the fire had been extinguished. It said the fire was caused by a homeless person who used propane, adding the incident resulted in one individual sustaining non-life-threatening injury. On-site photos showed people inside the Capitol building were evacuated from the west front of the Capitol. They were rehearsing the 59th presidential inauguration slated for Wednesday, when Democrats Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will be sworn in as president and vice president respectively. Police ramped up security measures on the Capitol grounds in the lead up to the inauguration as they braced for possible violence after pro-Trump demonstrators stormed the Capitol building on Jan 6th. Roughly 25,000 National Guard members have been deployed in the nation's capital, with 7-foot barriers being erected around the Capitol, its office buildings, and the Supreme Court. Military vehicles were seen parking at intersections downtown to boost security. The United Nations Security Council strongly condemned the attack that happened yesterday against the UN peacekeeping mission in the Central African Republic, known as CAR, which killed a peacekeeper from Gabon and another from Morocco. In a statement, the members of the Security Council expressed their deepest condolences and sympathy to the families of the deceased peacekeeper, as well as to Gabon, Morocco, and the peacekeeping mission known as MINUSCA. The members condemned in the strongest terms all attacks, provocations, and incitement to violence against MINUSCA by armed groups and other preparators, said the statement. They reiterated that attacks against peacekeepers may constitute war crimes and reminded all parties of their obligations under international humanitarian law. They called on the CER government to swiftly investigate these attacks and bring the perpetrators to justice. The members reiterated their full support for MINUSCA and expressed their deep appreciation to MINUSCA's troop and police contributing countries. They stressed the importance of MINUSCA having the necessary capacities to fulfill its mandate and promote the safety and security of the UN peacekeepers. The members reiterated their strong support for the UN Secretary General's Special Representative for the CAR and for MINUSCA to assist the CR authorities and the people of the country in their efforts to bring lasting peace and stability, said the statement. It's time for a quick commercial break, but stay tuned as we have more updates from our sports desk.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
It's about time we kicked COVID-19 out of our lives. Join us on TTV Outline every Monday and let us learn how to fight COVID together. Welcome back to TTV. You're watching Midday Update. And now from our sports desk. Barcelona manager Ronald Koeman defended Lionel Messi, who received a red card during the Supercopa de España final against Athletic Club, saying that it was a normal reaction from the Argentine as the opponents fouled him many times. The red card was shown to Messi for violent conduct on AZR, an incident that was spotted by the VAR near the end of the clash. Messi was sent off for the first time in his Barcelona career. I can understand what Messi did. I don't know how many times they fouled him, and it's normal to react when they keep trying to foul you as a player who's looking to dribble with the ball. But I need to see it again properly. Goal.com quoted Koeman as saying, Now, during the match, Barcelona's Antoine Griezmann scored a brace, but it was not enough for the club to win the Supercopa de España final as Athletic Club clinched the title with a 3-2 win here on Monday. Griezmann scored the opening goal of the match, putting Barcelona ahead in the 40th minute. However, the lead lasted for just 2 minutes as Oscar Di Marcos netted an equalizer. Koeman admitted that he's disappointed with the result, while stressing that his side has to be more forceful in defense. Dozens of the world's top tennis players have been forced into a strict 2-week hotel quarantine ahead of the Australian Open after at least 4 passengers on charter flights bound for the tournament tested positive for COVID-19. As of Monday, positive cases on 3 flights arriving in Australia meant that 72 players were deemed close contacts and required to isolate in their hotel rooms for 14 days. Australian Open officials confirmed that none of those who so far tested positive were players and that all passengers had returned a negative test prior to boarding. With the February 8th start just 3 weeks away, some of the players voiced concerns over not being able to train during the quarantine period as was originally planned. Authorities had established several training venues for the athletes to use during the mandatory 2-week quarantine while also remaining separate from the broader community. However, as close contacts, many of the athletes will now be entirely confined to their hotel rooms. Several players took on social media to take issue with the arrangement, saying that they had believed that only those seated in the same section as somebody who tested positive would need to isolate. With this segment, we have come to the end of the episode for today, but stay tuned as we'll be back again tomorrow with more latest updates and news your way. Keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.